Chelsea fans, today is the last game in the Premier League for 2025-2026 season, right? Chelsea will be hosting Sunderland today, and it's going to be an interesting game. McFarlane is looking, to be the interim manager for the last game of the season, and hereby, subsequently, we have Xabi Alonso coming in from July 1st, to take over as the next Chelsea manager. Okay? First of all, we're going to look at everything that is going on at Chelsea Football Club. We're going to dissect it one after the other. Please do well to comment, like, share, and subscribe. Okay? So, Chelsea held a private conversation, and the conversation is said to be a positive one. Chelsea, look at what has been happening, at the football club since when, they took over, and there were some positive conversation. They look at the past mistake that they have made. They look at the past error that they have made, and it now looks as if both Edbahli, especially Edbahli, and other people that are managing Clear Lake Investments are under pressure. They are under pressure to deliver results. They are under pressure to as well ensure that Chelsea gets to the best. Okay, and also in this conversation, Chelsea board, try to look into one or two, especially Edbahli, who is the majority shareholder, in Clear Lake. Permit me to use that language. Edbahli is actually the one, fronting everything at Clear Lake at Chelsea Football Club. There are suggestions during this meeting when they had, particularly about Chelsea getting, to the next level. They want to put Chelsea on the map in the Premier League. They want to ensure that Chelsea are not only going to be competing for top 4, right? They want to ensure that Chelsea are competing for every title. Note, they want Chelsea to be competing for every title. So if you look at this and put everything into perspective, you will understand why they had this meeting and why they are looking at Chelsea moving forward to another level. Okay? So another discussion that came up during this meeting is that Chelsea wants to sign 3 to 4 new signings. They want to have at least 3 to 4 new signings, and these signings are going to be, 2 of these signings is going to be experienced. Minimum 2 of these signings are going to be experienced, proven players. Though, according to them, they are saying that all these players that will come in are going to be experienced. They can hit the ground running, but they are saying that at least 2 of these players that will come in, they are going to be more experienced. They also noted in this meeting that there are incoming players like Emmanuel Emeya, who is a striker. It's not going to affect the fact that Chelsea are still going to look into the market, to buy quality players, especially strikers, right? Chelsea are not yet convinced if Emmanuel Emeya is going to play for Chelsea, right away. They are not convinced yet. They have not made that decision yet. But they are hopeful that by the time Xabi Alonso comes in, he can be able to look into all of this together and make the decision, on the best possible way they can assist and ensure that Emmanuel Emeya, hit the ground running. That is if he's going to play at Chelsea Football Club or he's going to go on loan. Okay? And also, there's another report that Nicolas Jackson, there is every possibility that Nicolas Jackson can be back to Chelsea first team. Okay? There's every possibility that Nicolas Jackson can be back into the Chelsea first team. However, if Xabi Alonso does not see the potential in Nicolas Jackson, it will better sell him off and cash out from him. Okay? And also, there is a talk on Josh Achimpong. Chelsea do not feel that Achimpong is ready yet. They don't feel he's ready yet. They want to send him on loan. Note that Chelsea wants to sign an experienced defender, but Acheampong as well is demanding for quality playing time. So if you look at all of these things, Chelsea do not currently guarantee that he's going to get the quality playing time that he's looking for, right? It might as well go on loan and all that. Chelsea also notes during this meeting that Josh Acheampong is not for sale. Manchester United have, they have come for him, and they have made a decision that he is not for sale. Also, the defenders and the kind of player Chelsea are looking at, there is a Como player called Jacob Roma. Is someone that Chelsea are looking at bringing, especially in the area of height, winning area duels, and all of these things, and also in the area of set pieces. Chelsea are looking at Jacob Roma. Jacob Ramon. Forgive me for that pronunciation. So these are the things that Chelsea are looking at. It is not yet concrete. It's still one of the players that Chelsea are looking, to bring into Chelsea Football Club. Okay? And all of these signings, right, that they're going to make, they're going to ensure that it is what Xavi Alonso wants. Chelsea do not want to repeat the past mistake. They don't want to repeat the past errors. They want to ensure that this is what Xavi Alonso wants. This is what these are the players that he likes, because they feel like Chelsea, can go ahead, to compete for everything. Chelsea are also looking at several players. There's a Club Brugge centre back. His name is Joel Ordenes. Joel Ordenes is one of the players Chelsea are looking at. And also, a report came out that they have been watching him for for a long time now. They have been following him. Chelsea scouts have been following him back to back. We don't know. It is not concrete yet. It's the ideal of centre back that Chelsea are looking at. Okay, and Chelsea look at the possibility of signing Ibrahim Konate, because currently Ibrahim Konate's contract at Liverpool, is getting to an end, and he has not signed another contract at Liverpool Football Club. But there is a constraint, and the constraint is that Konate, his wage demand is very, very high, and Chelsea do not want to go, further, to get a player that is demanding for high wages, that has not proved himself at the club, and they have a wage structure that they are maintaining. So these are things that Chelsea, are discussing at the moment. In attack, Chelsea are looking at Morgan Rogers. They feel like Morgan Rogers can play, as a midfielder, he can play as a winger. They believe that Morgan Rogers is very, very versatile, and it can help Chelsea Football Club to get to where, they want to go. But there's another issue, because Aston Villa at the moment, they are not looking to sell, Morgan Rogers. At the moment, I don't think Aston Villa wants to sell. Another player Chelsea are looking at in the attacking role is Adam Wharton. Adam Wharton is very versatile in the midfield as well. This is one of the players Chelsea are talking about. None of this has been contacted yet, but these are discussions going on, at Chelsea Football Club. And Chelsea are also looking at Sunderland Noah Sadiki. Noah Sadiki is a Sunderland player, and these are potential players that can join Chelsea Football Club, any moment from next summer or this coming summer. Okay, but as I've noted, Chelsea will always bring in players that have been approved by Xavi Alonso. Okay. Also, Chelsea are looking at Manchester City Nico Gonzalez. So, if you look at all of these things, you can clearly see that Chelsea are looking at players that are proving themselves in the Premier League, right? In terms of midfield, I'm talking in terms of midfield. I'm not talking in terms of centre back, but in terms of midfield, I think they are looking at players that are proving themselves in the Premier League, and also in terms of attackers, they're looking for attackers that are proving themselves in the Premier League. That's what I'm looking at, because Chelsea have also discussed the possibility of getting Carlos Baleba. Carlos Baleba as well is, who is currently a Brighton player, but I think the price tag on Carlos Baleba is just too outrageous. I don't think Chelsea will talk about Carlos Baleba, going forward, because they also discussed about him last year, January 2025, and the prices that Brighton are calling is just too outrageous. Elliot Anderson is also one of the attackers that Chelsea, midfielder that Chelsea are looking at. Chelsea believe that this guy has everything that it takes to be the best at Chelsea Football Club. They know that this guy can take Chelsea Football Club to the next level. So these are players that, Chelsea are looking at in terms of possibility of them coming to Chelsea Football Club. And Chelsea also discuss about summer transfers. They discuss about players that are going out, that will go out of Chelsea Football Club. Several names were mentioned, but just few of them is what I would like us to discuss about. First of all, some sources said that there are players that will leave Chelsea Football Club. Number one, they talk about Romeo Lavia. They said Romeo Lavia, since when he has been brought to Chelsea Football Club, he has not proved himself. He has been going from injury to injury. There are players that Chelsea are looking to sell. They talk about Wesley Fofana. That Fofana is one of the players that they are looking to sell. They talk about Andre Santos, saying that Andre Santos is one of the players that can go out on loan, right? And can go out on loan if all these experienced players comes in, so you can be able to get experience out there, because Andre Santos is also one of the players that are looking to get regular playing time. Also, Pedro Neto is one of the players that Chelsea are looking, to sell as well. And also, don't forget, Malo Gusto is one of the names that is there. But these are just discussion going out at Chelsea Football Club. And don't forget that Chelsea are going to, possibly, there is one of the at least 80% possibility that Garnacho, Liam Delap, Badiashile, Tosin, Philip Jorgensen, these players will leave Chelsea Football Club. There is possibility, a very, very high possibility that they are going to leave Chelsea Football Club. So there is another situation at Chelsea, right? Regarding Trevor Chalobah and Marc Cucurella. There is a contract situation, with these guys. And also, there is a report that Enzo Fernandez might leave Chelsea Football Club, right? Chelsea do not want to go above their wage structure. But a report also states that Enzo Fernandez wants to be the highest paying player at Chelsea. This is what is going on at Chelsea Football Club. But his agent, Javier Pastore, is also, with Chelsea. There's still ongoing discussion. Everything is not done yet, right? Everything is not certain yet that is going to leave. But there are discussions going now about what can possibly happen with with Enzo Fernandez. Okay? There are reports that Barcelona wants to sign João Pedro. Okay? But Chelsea's stand on João Pedro is that João Pedro is not for sale. But if João Pedro wants to force his way out, he can leave. But Chelsea's stand is that João Pedro is not for sale, no matter what Barcelona are trying to do. But if he tries to force his way out, Chelsea are saying that, look, we don't have any other option than to sell a player that is not ready to stay at Chelsea Football Club. So these are things that are going on at Chelsea Football Club at the moment. Also, lastly, before we go, right, there is an ongoing issue between Chelsea, Manchester City regarding Enzo Fernandez. Regarding Enzo Maresca. Chelsea are saying that we want a substantial amount of compensation from Manchester City. If we do not receive that kind of value of money from Manchester City, there's going to be a court case. However, Manchester City has said to compensate Chelsea Football Club. But Chelsea are saying it have to be at the right price. So if you look at all of these things that Chelsea are discussing, Chelsea are looking into, what do you think Chelsea will do in the transfer window? Which player do you think Chelsea will sign? What kind of experienced player do you want to see at Chelsea? What are the things that you feel Chelsea can bring in that can help Chelsea Football Club going forward?